league pull. They can 100% pull out something new there, but I think that'll be about it. I think everything else on Oregon border has, really been defined. But as we get into the bans here, we're seeing Lion taken off the board straight away by Fnatic. No real surprise there.
Yeah, definitely not. It's pretty much the meta ban, especially internationally as well. And then followed up by the next one's going to be Ying, which is, I feel, a bit interesting, especially on Oregon.
Yeah, it's something we don't see too often banned away. There's definitely stronger picks out of that. That seemed to me to be a more targeted ban, though. Yeah,
especially because VSDS are on attack first up. It must say to me that, Dark Sided are expecting some, Ying executes coming out from Fnatic.
Yeah, Echo, another very normal band, a very powerful band coming out of here, taking away that Yokai plant denial, and a Valkyrie coming out.
Yeah, and that's interesting because Fnatic are banning that as well. Like, Dark Sided don't traditionally really run a Valkyrie at all, whereas, Fnatic have definitely taken advantage of those Black Eyes in the past.
Oh, they certainly have, so I agree with you. Very interesting choice out of Fnatic. It almost seems like they're curveballing themselves with that, but we'll have to see how it goes. First site is going to be Laundry and Supply, so we're heading downstairs into the basement. And I don't think there's anything too abnormal out of any of these rosters. The Vigil probably being the most abnormal pick.
What I'm surprised about is the mirror got through the ban phase.
Yeah, it's something you don't see very often. I think so many teams, though, have become so accustomed to playing without mirror that integrating it back in is almost an odd change in itself. Like, you have to get used to playing with the mirror again, that not banning mirror can certainly have a negative impact on teams that are planning around not playing with it.
Yeah, and also another pick we got coming out that's still not really coming out too often is the Clash, indeed. I'm still not sure if, I like Clash just yet.
I think she definitely has her uses. She'll be able to stand pretty much on the stairwell. If she'll be roaming around at first, being a mobile camera, but she'll slowly get pushed back to that main stairs. And I think if Neo can hold the main stairs with that Clash, really prevent people having to come down. You can't really pick up the angle from the hatch either if they manage to open the hatch. So I think that the Clash can definitely deny a push through and a plant from that.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of setup coming out from Fnatic. I can hear those shotguns going pretty much the whole way through as we do head into the first action phase. Virtue taking out the cameras and taking a few shots, but no real roamers coming out from Fnatic at all.
No, I'm not really surprised about that. They don't have a lot of strong roamers out of this. Potentially, Rizraz and Magnet can roam together.
Presence, isn't it?
But yeah, I think it's just going to be a meeting hall and drop down hold from them. Nothing too out of the ordinary. As I said, I expect the first couple of rounds to be relatively slow as the two teams just sort of figure each other out because they haven't really versed each other for a little while.
Yep, looks like we've got the mute to try and help deny those ex-Kyroses opening up the hatch. But looks like before they even think about that, we've got Specker pressuring towards meeting hall. Now, surely they'd want to get rid of those mute jammers before they start risking Specker.
Well, I'm actually surprised that wall's not reinforced, right? Like, there's not even a rotate hole, so, and if you're not going to rotate through it, reinforce it, put it off. It's one of the stronger walls to push through, and we're seeing here, Specker trying to make his early mark on it, not really finding anything.
See, I think that's fine with the presence of Neofighter with that shield. He's going to be safe sitting on out there, and we do see Fletch spot the shield. But, of course, nothing can shoot through that just yet. But Fnatic have been pushed back to the main tower stairs. Drones coming out, and Rizraz will take some tags.
From Lusty, though.
Oh, was that from Lusty?
That was from Lusty, so a bit of T damage there coming out. But Fletch holding a very nice angle here. He's all through the wall! Fletch comes up with the first headshot. What a shot. Lusty's going to have to sit down. Rizraz trades one back, though, straight onto Virtue.
Yeah, there we go, 4-4 with a minute 20 on the clock, and Neofighter is still being a nuisance with his shield as Rizraz will find his second. Specker down.
Certainly is going to make it 3-on-4. Rizraz has been taken to just a virtue of health, though, but he's going to find Fletch in amongst all that, and he is doing a ton of work here. Neo pushing his way through, Jack Daddy up above. Cutie's got the diffuser. We'll have to see how it goes. They've managed to spot Jack Daddy in the attic, though.
Yeah, what are VSDS doing here? They are pushing solo one by one right into Rizraz's crosshair, and it's a 4-on-2 right now. Of course, Rizraz is low, but there's 50 seconds on the clock, and it's going to be very difficult for Darkside to get in for a plant.
Certainly is. Rizraz, though, you breathe on him and he's going to die. He really doesn't have a lot of health there at all. I expect him to head back down to it potentially for a reset. Aces could reset him with a smoke if they want to go for it, but with only 30 seconds left, you've sort of missed the mark on that.
Yeah, Dark Sided are probably going to have to go for this last second push, and they haven't really cleared out much of this utility. There's still going to be the mirrors up, the smoke canisters. you know, this will be very surprising if this round does go to Dark Sided.
Yeah, I'm going to be a bit surprised as well, as we are seeing a split push as well, one from the rear, one from the main stage, and Jack Daddy's going to be walking straight into a mirror, and, you know, Cutie's going to be walking straight into a gas grenade. Magnet's going to put a shotgun blast through Jack Daddy's chest, though. That only leaves it up to Cutie, and Aces is there, and he's just going to put an end to it.
There we go. Fnatic do pick up the first round. You know, it was looking pretty competitive until about halfway through when Dark Sided just tried to get Rizraz out from the back tower, but he was not having any of it, was he? Headshot after headshot.
Yeah, Rizraz really put the effort into that round, you know, coming up with a shot after shot, particularly with how low health he was. But I agree with you, VSDS put up a great fight initially, and it was a great initial push into that meeting hall, but they just couldn't find any momentum afterwards. It's like they weren't aware what to do afterwards.
And they really didn't need to push that, did they? They could have set up for the execute. They had the Capitao bolts to make sure they've got the cover. You know, there was the smoke canisters, of course, to worry about, but, you know, they're only going to last for 30 seconds. But they just wasted time, they wasted manpower, and, you know, they wasted that round.
Yeah, certainly I agree. You know, it comes down to when you have, especially with that Capitao, you know, they had the smoke bolts, they had the asphyxiation bolts. They could have pushed Aces out of that cubby with the asphyxiation bolts and, you know, forced the plant either behind basket or on top. And you don't have the C4s and the gas canisters to be able to deny both plants effectively for long enough. They could have just ignored meeting hole and just have one person hold it.
Yeah, and we've got a curveball coming out here. We're going to the kitchen as the second choice rather than a third choice bomb site here from Fnatic.
Yeah, normally a tertiary bomb site to take with is not exactly the most popular. Normally you'd see the kids' bedroom and the main bedroom upstairs being held, but unfortunately kitchen dining here coming through. I'm actually a big fan of this, particularly with the mirror. This site becomes a lot more powerful, but they're not even running it.
Yeah, that's interesting. They are running the castle as well, but, you know, not too many C4s. They've just got the smoke and, you know, potentially Magnet with a C4 there. You know, if VSDS can get set up properly for the plant, it is going to be trouble for Fnatic to deny.
They do have the evil eyes from Aces, so they do have, it is soft denial, it's not hard denial.
They've got a Sledge, they've got a Zofia, easy counters to the evil eyes. You know, if Dark Sided are fast and efficient about this, Fnatic are going to get caught with their pants down. Absolutely,
and you know, Cutie running on that Thermite, so they read this really, really well, taking a Thermite over Urbana, and a couple of shots coming through that wall from Bathroom.
Yeah, it looks like Spec is going to drone it out. Of course, this is a very strong anchor position for the defenders, so, you know, they definitely just know someone's in here before they've even droned it out. You know, you'd be nuts not to.
Yeah, you got to expect it, and I'm really happy to see, you know, Fnatic running their own charms.
Yeah, that is a nice touch, isn't it? You know, with a shotgun in this space, like, of course, you know, smoke being so aggressive can be a bit worrying, but with a shotgun up close, you get demolished. But then, of course, the counter utility, there is frag grenades. You've also got the Capitao. You know, I'm not sure how much longer Neophyte is going to be able to survive here.
He would have an ADS there potentially to try and stop something, but I want to see those frag grenades come out of Virtue. They know exactly where Neo is at this point, and if one frag grenade could potentially come in, and that is a nice evil eye out of Aces.
Yeah, it's going to give Neo all the information he needs, plus it's going to really put off Dark Sided as soon as they start pushing forward. He is ready for it. He's got it opened up, ready to go.
And Rizraz and Magnet so aggressive in this dining room. They haven't even opened Kitchen Hall. That is a door that you expect to come out straight away. And Rizraz could get very, very aggressive here if he comes out with something. And here we go. No, Jack Daddy shuts him down, comes out with the first kill for the second time in a row here. Virtue now putting some pressure in through the white stairs window. Going to find nothing though. Jack Daddy has been down though.
Yeah, definitely Lusty is going to finish him off, putting us back to a 4-on-4. This is pretty similar to the last round as well. But VSDS have a full minute to get this execute down, but oh, are they going to expect Magnet's position here? Virtue's going to drone him. He's the Sledge. He could bust right on through, but no, Magnet is going to get back in time. But he's busy chasing these drones. Surely they know he's there. Yep. Yes, Cutie's going to take him on down. Man advantage back in Dark Sided's hands.
That was silly aggressive out of Magnet. He did not need to run into the middle of the room there, especially with that Thermite wall open. They knew it was open as well, and he still just charged in, chasing after that drone. Aces on the long flank using the ACOG on the LMG here. He could just suppress the whole site. If he reloads the Older, waits for 15 seconds, and then he can just suppress the whole site, and they won't be able to make their way in. Fletch takes out Lusty on the flank, though. Neo could potentially find something, but Spec is going to find him. Virtue finds him. Dark Sided pick up their first round, tied up 1-1.
Yeah, that was a great round there from Dark Sided. They read completely into the strategy that Fnatic were trying to deploy, and Fnatic, as I said, caught with their pants down.
absolutely.
Could not deny that plant.
You called that to a T, Monkey. It was great to see. And really good things to see out of Dark Sided here. You know, they took their time. They utilized the full time window they had. You find, especially on Kitchen, a lot of people look to try and open these things quickly, look to try and rush it in, try and get the plant, because it is so easy to get the plant on that Kitchen site. A lot of people try to rush for it and then just get caught from the defenders. So really nice to see Dark Sided using all their time.
Yeah, and what we saw from Fnatic was kind of like, you know, they understood that. They were like, right, we're going to be very aggressive, hyper-aggressive back at them. And, you know, if VSDS are trying to take it slowly, they're not going to be ready for them.
That's a tower bomb.
That is a tower bomb.
I am shocked out of this. We'll have to see what Fnatic are going to bring out. It looks like they could potentially go around the world on their defense here.
Well, is this going to be more aggression? Because that's definitely what it feels like. That's the other way, like pretty much the only way.
You can defend this site is to be aggressive. We're going to see spawn peaks, we're going to see run-outs, we're going to see jump out of windows. This is going to be an explosive round.
I do notice the significant lack of ACOGs on the Fnatic side, though.
Oh, yes, but, you know, you don't really need them when you're a good shot as you are out of Fnatic squads.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot of them do prefer the reflex site anyway. Yep. You know, it is, because it is the one time, you obviously don't have to zoom in. You have a larger field of view on the outside. You can react quicker to things, especially when people are close up. So I think that the reflex is definitely a personal choice out of these Fnatic squads.
Yeah, well, here we go into the action phase now. Virtue, you know, we've seen him do that twice now, I believe. Third time's the charm. Still getting nothing through that window, though, but, you know...
Well, no one's playing up there, so
yeah.
Eventually, when they do go upstairs, they will be able to get it. There's some nice ADSs to protect Magnet up the top here, so he's got one at each of the windows, so he can, you know, going to be impervious for a little while for himself.
And holes through the floor as well.
Yep, so these holes through the floor are actually really good at shooting out of some of these bottom windows. If you open up the windows, you can get some awesome holes out of that. It's really hard to refrag you through there because all you do is hit the railings as you're shooting up.
Yeah, well, Dark Sided, they can't waste their time on this one either because, you know, if it does come down to it, Fnatic are going to be able to deny any plants that come out very quickly with just some small aggressions.
Yep, you certainly can, and that's an ADS there to stop that. They're going to pop the mirror. That's going to be a good boon for them if they can take meeting control. But of course, meeting control at the moment is on the side of Fnatic still. And they're not 100% aware of where all the Fnatic players are. Specker downstairs, we'll have to see whether or not he can come up with something on these flanks. And, ooh, Lusty picks up the first kill onto Fletch. Jack Daddy going to take out Aces, though, when apply. Cutie is trying to get the plan, but Lusty from the side. Magnet with a nice run out there, finding nothing. These kills coming out quick and fast.
Yeah, way too fast here from Dark Side. They've still got a minute 30 on the clock, and they're already trying to go for the plant. We're going to see a reset come on out, but Rizraz is ready. It's all up to Specker now in the 1-on-4. He's going to run up from the bottom of the stairs, and he can't even find one. Magnet finishes him off, and there we go. Fnatic do convert their tower bomb site.
Yeah, we did say we're going to see aggression out of Fnatic, and that is what they bought. The run out from Rizraz catching a reset with their pants down. Darksided just not prepared for that, and the aggression out of Fnatic reigns supreme.
Yeah, and you know, that's the kind of play that you'd see backed up by a Valkyrie, but as we said, it was banned out by Fnatic, and you know, they still were able to do those plays, so maybe it was an intelligent ban.
Yeah, very intelligent ban by the looks of it so far, but we'll have to see how they're going to go back down into the basement.
So they're not going upstairs just yet?
Well, they might, you know, presuming they win this as they won the first basement, they can still go upstairs. We can still see around the world. There is one more defensive round here for Fnatic before we swap time at the halves.
Like Fletch was teasing the blitz there, but no, he's switched back to the Capitao.
Yeah, I think the Capitao is the much more intelligent choice. I think you know, especially because they are going to the basement, if they can use the smokes and the asphyxiation bolts intelligently, 100% the better choice.
Yeah, now talking about surprise picks though, we do see a Cat Can coming out from Magnet. That was 6 picked in, I believe.
Yep, trying to hide it. And we're going to see probably see the cap trap sitting around upstairs because we have seen, you know, a top-down take out of Darksided every single time so far. So I do expect to see, you know, them thrown around the map. He is going to go for a bit of a run.
Some of those more roamer style positions. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a more extended roam from Fnatic this time. But that being said, you know, their tower defense here worked so well last time. Like, why change it up?
Yeah, I think we're going to see them just sitting around in Meeting Hall. I do want to see that Meeting Hall wall reinforced this time, though. I think that was a massive oversight by the Fnatic squad, and they almost got wall banged a couple of times through it. So, they very quickly lost their meeting control because of that factor.
Yeah, but I think it was, you know, Dizzle loves to say it, like fight where they're not. You know, they hold the meeting hall loosely, try and get them to take it, and then it's a shooting gallery from the stairs when they're in there.
Yeah, well, it certainly was, and you know, Riz was shooting ducks in a barrel. So we'll have to see whether or not, you know, they can replicate that same success. But Ace is playing very aggressive on this white stairs. He loves this spot.
Yeah, especially with a shotgun up close and personal, that can be so deadly.
Yeah, he's really pioneered shotguns in the Pro League and the ANZ meta. So we'll have to, you know, he's had a lot of success on them, and we've seen a lot of people replicate that success from him as well.
But it looks like Dark Sided really do want to clear out this tower properly this time, rather than just push into the meeting hall. It looks like they want to take more angles, try and get the crossfires on it, and you know, they have reinforced that wall, as you noticed.
Yeah, that's a good change from them, and we're seeing, you know, Dark Sided head upstairs. It looks like they're going to try and take control of Attic and force the Fnatic squad out of meeting from the Attic.
Yeah, well, they still are aware of Neofighter's position on that clash. Once again, he's just going to be a nuisance. It's going to be hard for them to deal with. We do see the wall get opened up, though, from Pantry, and I think it might be time for them to fall back ever so slowly once again.
Yep, and you can see they slowly are moving back. Rizraz behind the sandbags. We'll have to see whether or not he can come into effect. He can get a nice flank from the east side of the meeting hall door from there, but he will be holding that angle very nicely. He is obviously going to be impervious from the west side. Yeah,
Virtue wanting to know if it's clear to go up in the attic, because that'd be the easy position to try and deny Rizraz's position. As we're going to see an early plant here.
This is going to be a plant. And the C4 missed. The denial hasn't come through. The smoke grenades have missed as well. The plant has gone down. The SDS are now in the driver's seat, and it's all up to Fnatic. But here they come from meeting hall. Clash is going to lead the way through. Aces is going to find one kill with the smoke grenade. Put Jack Daddy into the grave.
Fletch is going to trade one back, though, and it looks like the Clash is calling out the positions of these attackers. Are they going to be able to deny from the position it's planted? Ace is lusty, and that's the defuse coming on down. Completely destroyed there, and that's going to be another Fnatic round. Wow, what happened there?
What happened there, Monkey, was no one from Darksided was ready for the rush out of meeting hall from Fnatic. As soon as that plant went down, 3 Fnatic members, you know, behind a Clash just sort of came out. So they all shot Clash, and then all of a sudden, you know, Fnatic peeked around, picked up the shots, and then managed to push their way back on the site.
And none of those Dark-Sided members could deny the defusal coming on through. It was completely exposed, and the positioning of the Clash just completely ruined them there. And is that a Frost? Did I see a Frost? I saw a Frost.
You saw a Frost?
I saw a Frost.
I was looking at your beautiful mustache, so I'll have to take your word for that. But I really do think that was a brilliant retake by Fnatic, and that was a powerful, powerful use of Clash.
Yeah, you really feel like the SDS should have been much more ready for it. Like we saw Jack Daddy putting down the Claymore at the top of the stairs. If he'd just put that towards the meeting hall, I think they would have been a lot more successful in trying to defend against the retake.
Around the world.
Around the world indeed. Finally, we go up to upstairs. Final round for Fnatic's defense. You know, they've really kept Darksided guessing, haven't they?
They really have, and that's the beautiful thing about this Fnatic squad is they put so much time and effort into the strategies that they sort of make any bomb site viable. And it's a beautiful thing to see that we can go to any bomb site successfully. You know, Tower could probably tout it as the worst bomb site in possibly the whole game. Like, and, you know, they successfully defended it. So it is great to see how Fnatic can go to any bomb site.
Looks like that Frost that was selected by Neo has been picked back to the Clash. I must say, Fnatic are having some good success with the Clash, haven't they?
Yeah, Clash is probably going to be a little bit less useful on this map because of the hallway. You can sort of pick up Clash from multiple directions. You've got really white stairs, you've got the armory hallway, you've got the double window, you've got kid's bedroom. You know, there are 4 directions that you can pick off that Clash from that I don't think Clash is going to be as impactful as what we saw out of that last hole.
Yeah, for sure. As for the other operator picks, I'm a bit surprised about the mute coming on through here for Fnatic. Of course, just deny those drones, make sure they can't get in and about.
Yeah, I'm personally a big fan of Mute. I think Mute is a very powerful operator in this day and age, and one of those operators that sort of just flies under the radar. Being able to deny a lot of information out of the drones is so powerful.
Yeah, he's like a B tier, if in a tier list, wouldn't he?
In my opinion, he'd be an A tier. You know, you'd have your S tier picks. In my opinion, he'd be an A tier pick.
B. It'd be B. we can debate this later as the round is in full swing here. We've already had a minute go by. And Rizraz, he's down below, ready to get sneaky, but so is Jack Daddy. He's ready for it.
Yep, taking control of that garage. No one above, and we're seeing, they do know there's some potentially from some Fnatic members on the west side. Clash, and it looks like Magnet on that. No, it was Rizraz on the Legion down there. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see whether or not they can pull out some nice flanks. Cutie going to open this wall on the master bedroom, and considering he has the diffuser, that is going to be their plant spot.
Yeah, definitely. I like the position he's taken up as well, waiting for any aggression to come out through the thermite hole. It's such a common thing you'll see, but he's ready for it. And it looks like Fnatic, they might be left scrambling a bit, trying to be ready to deny any plants that come on through.
Yep, and here comes Neo on that Clash. He is the one. Oh, nice jump over the mute from Fletch.
Yeah, definitely. But Fletch, he could be the one to completely deny this positioning from the Clash. He's going to put those firebolts down. It's going to be a pretty well uncontested plant if it's done properly. Yeah,
it can be, certainly. And we're going to have to see. He might be able to asphyxiate Neo out, because Neo's against the wall, so if he puts the bolt right behind him, Lusty comes up with the first kill, puts Fletch into the ground. That's the Capitao gone.
And there's that strat.
Yeah, there's that Clash peak again we saw out of them from the last round. We see it again, and beautiful, beautiful use out of Clash by Fnatic.
Yeah, unfortunately, they won't be able to utilize the Capitao in their plant either, but Jack Daddy's going to win a straight-up duel against Magnet. He has gone low for it, however. There's
no
30
C4
seconds.
from below now. That was the plan out of Magnet. He wanted to try and C4 the plant, but not going to happen. Jack Daddy's gone down. Lusty's gone down. Specker picks up the first kill. Ace is going to trade him straight back, though, as Rizraz has been dropped as well, and that leaves us in a 3 versus 3 with 20 seconds left.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see Aces lose that duel as well. I thought he'd win that as Cutie's going to push on in. He's got the diffuser in tow, so he's going to start sticking that plant. But Virtue and Jack Daddy are so lit, but it's just against 2. Virtue goes down there to Neofighter on the Clash. Jack Daddy is going to finally down him, however, as it's all up to Lusty 2-on-1 to try and retake this bomb site.
Yep, the plant did go down in amongst all that. Jack Daddy's going to go for a bit of a run, and Lusty left in a 2v1. He sees one downstairs. He manages to pick up Jack Daddy through the bars. Now he's left against just Cutie, but Lusty needs to be the one to be aggressive. But Cutie wins the duel, and Dark Sided going 3-2 for the half.
Yeah, this has been great here from Dark Sided already. They are putting up a massive fight. It's really great to see.
It is, isn't it? Dark Sided going just really putting Fnatic, really making them fight for it. It's great to see. I think a lot more people were expecting, you know, a bit more of a whitewash from the Fnatic squad here, but seeing such a close half, I'm excited to see what the rest of Oregon's going to bring.
All right, then as
we saw at their meeting hall hold, it got dismantled. And not just once, it got dismantled 4 times in a row.
So and we're back.
We're back into game. Round 6. Here, it is going to be the first defense, and it is going to be laundry room and supply room out of VSDS.
And they're going to switch their mirror over to a castle.
I do not agree with that, Monkey, and I'm sure you don't either by your surprised tone.
I'm just surprised that they've done it. Wait till we see their strat before we start judging, of course. That being said, I think it's not a bad idea. And also, talking about not bad ideas, we've got Aces on a Blitz. Shields for Fnatic.
Shields for Fnatic. However, it's not going to be Neofighter. He's going to be on that Zofia instead. Lusty pulling out that Dokkaebi. So, you know, the phone calls are going to come in. We'll have to see how annoying, you know, Darksider's mothers are going to be as they do call them halfway through a match.
Yeah, looks like Specker's going to be castling up here as well.
Top floor castle, that's something you don't see very often. I was expecting that to be more meaningful.
See, it's more of just to deny them having easy access, you know, to this top floor.
This is going to be a hard hold up top.
Yeah, it is. So, you know, we talk about the VSDS meeting hall roam, but it looks like it might be maybe a mixture between the two. They've got definitely a lot of people up top, but then again, they've got the hatches in meeting hall opened up for a quick retreat.
And with so many people holding up top, with a blitz, Ace is just probably going to charge downstairs, right? Surely.
Ace is just going to rush, or maybe the whole Fnatic team, but no, I don't think so, but they are taking West control very quickly now with that blitz leading the charge. You know, no bullet's going to find him from the front.
Yeah, no, Ace is playing very hyper right now. He does back up a little bit, as I do believe that, you know, they said a lot of people up top, and yeah, they're going to rotate up top, so they want to clear out these roamers, this Fnatic squad, and as you said, Ace is going to be leading this charge in through the double window.
Yeah, but, you know, he can't be solo the whole time. He is going to need some support, especially if VSDS can get some crossfires set up. We can see the floor a bit destructed as well, but I really don't think Fnatic are going to be able to, Darkside are going to be able to shoot through that area of the map.
No, we're seeing Lusty put a couple of shots just through the floor randomly to see what he can go.
I think he was going for the camera.
You reckon? I thought the camera was already dead. But
potentially.
You know, either way, someone was there, so he could have potentially picked someone up if he was lucky enough. Not going to be finding anyone in this meeting hall. However, the rear tower stairs are going to be, you know, are going to be held by this Dark-Sided squad. but finding nothing really. Rizraz holding the angle, and Fnatic taking a very, very slow approach so far.
Yeah, I really doubt Fnatic are going to worry about these roamers too much. I think looks like they might just go for an execute and hold it off. They are very good at doing this. They do have to worry about the presence of the roamers, but I think they're going to be, completely ready.
Honestly, I don't think they really do have to worry about the roamers all that much. They know there's no one in Meeting Hall. Here comes the first call, but the push comes down. Virtue tries to get aggressive, but he's going to run straight into an Aces. Aces puts an end to him, but no one's come down, and here we go. Fletch takes the first frag back on the Lusty, and as we come back around that, Eldo is going to run out of ammo. Finally, Neo puts him out of his misery, though. Rizraz has been down amongst all this. Magnet comes up with one. Neo gets himself a second. Spectre trading one back. And amongst all this, Fnatic come out with the round win.
There we go. Fnatic on to 4 now. That was very aggressive from Dark Sided there. They weren't too focused on using that utility. We saw the smoke charge right up into the face of the Blitz. What about using those gas babes?
Yeah, well, they didn't have the gas halos come out. The older, though, just held left click and stopped anyone supporting Aces coming down the stairs until he ran out of ammo.
Yeah, but why is that the Maestro doing that? Shouldn't he be on his Evil Eyes trying to deny anyone as well? Like
but
someone
no one was going for the plant, right? I think the strategy was there, it just wasn't executed. So what they wanted to do was stop anyone coming in to support Aces. If you can then get a 2v1 on Aces, you can pick him up from the rear and really, stop him from getting aggressive. However, no one else was there to support Virtue in that one-on-one against Aces. So the Blitz reigned supreme. He just walked through the whole lineup and just took control of the sites.
Yeah, well, VSDS want to change this up as well. They are going to the Kids Dorms and the Dorms main hall as their second choice here. Don't want to try that downstairs, especially with that Rain of Terror from the Blitz, I feel.
Yeah, no, definitely they don't want to do that again. And if they do, they need to come up with something. So maybe they can come up with something while they're thinking about, this site.
Yeah, it was more of a case of, Fnatic took what ground they needed, which was, ground that was given to them for free from Dark Sided. But then, they just went for the execute, and Fnatic just ready for the aggressive pushes, weren't they?
Yeah, well, it was really telling that Fnatic, when they realized that no one was hard holding the Meeting Hall, they adapted to the push and said, right, guys, we can absolutely do this. They're all upstairs. Let's just ignore them go down, and then we can hold our flank. And sure enough, exactly what Fnatic did, and they pushed forward. But moving into this round, that's a nice shield coming out of there. The Alder's going to hold that angle down the hallway. Yeah,
well, that's what we saw Neophyter doing with his shield on the Clash earlier, making sure they can make that pixel peek. And, the Clash acts a bit like a moving mirror. Like, Lusty was sitting behind it and was able to peek around and get the perfect pre-fire headshot onto Fletch when we saw that. But another surprise, we are seeing an alibi come out.
Yeah, not something you see very often on this site in particular. A lot of windows, I suppose, the alibi prismers can get used at, and especially down the hall as well. We've seen some very interesting things come out of alibi players recently. They've been getting very creative with those prismers, so we'll have to see what they can come up with here, essentially. How impactful it can be, because her utility is either an all or nothing utility.
Yeah, and interested to see how Fnatic want to push this one. Neophyter is going to find the first frag as they are setting up for an east side push. It's going to be Fletch. He's been the first frag so often, hasn't he?
He really has. Fletch needs to rein in his aggression unnecessarily and start trying to play, that little bit smarter. But if he can stop dying first, I think he could be a lot more powerful for his team.
Yeah, Fnatic have already opened up into the main dorms area. Jack Daddy is on close watch with that one. And another thing I just realized, sorry, Darkside is still refusing to run a mirror.
Yeah, something they haven't pulled up again. Mirror not so important on this site, not compared to the basement one anyway. It can be useful, but not that important. Aces has been taken pretty low on this Blitz though, and amongst all this, and Spec is taking a ton of damage too.
Yeah, it looks like Aces and, pretty much the whole Fnatic squad is down here, making sure no C4s from below are going to ruin their days. Looks like they're getting set up for the plant very soon, however, and it's just going to be one-dimensional pressure back from Darksided.
Yeah, we did see Cutie on a massive roam in the basement as well, so we'll have to see what that's going to do. As he does come upstairs, he almost got a wallbang. I think there is an wall he can't kill through that. Jack Daddy finds Aces. Must he going to trade him straight back? That's a run out from Specker. Doesn't manage to find anything but a bit of damage onto Rizraz. And they're finally going to make their way upstairs. With 50 seconds left, though, time is starting to tick down.
Yeah, Darksided, they're going to have to make sure Cutie stays alive. This is the only secondary... Oh, no. Only secondary angle for them is Magnet. He's going to find the head of his teammate in Neophyter. Look at Specker's position, but he lands that shot! Wow!
What a play from Specker. Manages to land the flick. Virtue's going to pick up Magnet, and that leaves it all up to Riz Raz. But Virtue puts an end to the Fnatic's streak right there, and we're still only one behind for Dark Sided.
You know, I don't think Specker even believed he landed that shot. I just saw his face just then.
Yeah, no, that was really nutty out of Specker, and you can see how happy he looked. This Dark Sided squad really showing up today.
Yeah, definitely fighting back nice and strong as we see Raven, their coach. He looks a bit proud, doesn't he?
He certainly does, and he's got a reason to be proud. You know, he only came on recently, and since he's come on, Dark Sided, we'll have to see whether or not we go, as we are going to get back into it, and there is an immediate 6th pick onto the castle, and a 6th pick off Dokubaya into Sledge as well.
Once again, I told you, the 6th pick from Specker, mirror to castle. Lusty onto the Sledge. That's a great counter for the Maestro, of course.
Certainly is, and they are going downstairs into the basement. I do think this is the right choice, and we'll have to see whether or not they can make the adaptations to it.
Yeah, well, you know, VSDS, of course, won their top floor. This was the first side they tried to defend. Do they want to go to their tertiary at this point? You know,
if they lose this, definitely.
It really depends on how they feel about their tertiary, but yeah, I'd have to agree. No matter what happens here, that's where they're going next.
Well, I've always advocated the 2-and-move strategy. If something doesn't work for you, move on, do something else. I think you have 2 chances to get it to work. If not, move on. This is their 2nd chance for this basement defense. If they can't make it work, move on to your tertiary site.
Yeah, but then again, it really depends on how strong they think their tertiary bomb site, as well as how this round does play out.
Yeah, definitely. And if they're not feeling confident on Kitchen, would presumably be their tertiary bomb site. If they're not feeling very confident on Kitchen, they might just have to, they might feel like they could just run this over and over again until that top floor becomes available again.
Yeah, well, that being said, you know, if they lose this one, they are facing down match point, and then they'd have to win 2 of those to get back up there. So that means they are going to have to win something other than top floor if they even want to take it to overtime. Full stop.
Yeah, and I think that's a little bit scary from Darksided's perspective. But that being said, I think basement is their best opportunity, and here is their best opportunity to do it. So we'll have to see what they're going to do, as Fnatic are just going to do a top-down push, take control of this west side top floor, and then eventually push their way down.
And once again, that castle is kind of pretty well negated by the presence of Sledge there. It's Lusty just completely destroying the castle barricades.
Yeah, I think they need to either change up their strategy here, remove castle, or change up where those castles are, because at the moment they're just being completely ineffective and negated by that Sledge. But, oh, that is a beautiful shot. Neofighter picks up the head of Jack Daddy through the wall as Aces was just charging him down on that blitz, and that is scary to watch. Yeah,
well, that was as he was tossing out a C4, so he was caught unprotected as Lusty's also going to find Cutie. Man advantage heavily in Fnatic's favor right now.
Yep, Lusty picks himself up 1 for himself. And I really feel like, you know, Darksided are not doing what they need to do to take out these Fnatic attacks, which is stop this teamwork out of Fnatic.
Yeah, it really looked like it was a bit of a solo roam, like 2 solo roamers just caught out of position, not supporting each other at all. But then again, it was some very swift play there from Fnatic.
Yeah, it was. It was a very decisive play from Fnatic as well. They realized one player was isolated and they went straight after them, as Neofighter is going to pick up his 2nd for the round as he drops Fletch, puts him 6 feet under.
Yeah, up to Virtue and Specker now, going to try and clutch this one out. Of course, there is the smoke. He can deny that plant, but that's only for 30 seconds. There's still a whole minute for Fnatic to play with.
But again, they can open the hatch. He's got no defenses there in the reinforcement, so he's got nothing to hide behind. So if they can just suppress him out of that thing, out of the cubby, he cannot throw his gas babes.
Yeah, look, Virtue's going to peek, and he's going to miss those shots, though. Nothing quite landing as time is ticking away. Flashbang is coming on down as well. Virtue's going to line up the first smoke babe. Going to force Aces to push up forward. And oh, it's going to cause Virtue to run right into his crosshair, leaving it all up to Specker. 1v5 against the Blitz. And Lusty's going to steal it in the end there.
Yep, and that was what I was saying about having no protection for that smoke whatsoever. Aces just bull rushed him, and then, you know, a 2nd player from above that hatch picked him up in that cubby because he had no reinforcement to sit behind. He had no cover. Yeah,
there was really nowhere Virtue could go there. It was, I think it was pretty much round over when it was in that 5-on-3 Fnatic. You know, just, you know, showing their dominance in that one. As they're on match point now.
They certainly are, and this could be a bit of trouble for Darksided, as they really do need to pick up this map, because I think they're going to get pretty well blasted in border coming up. But, you know, I think that Darksided need to get their roamers together. They need to push together. They need to hold together, because they cannot be caught in these 1v3s that Fnatic are putting them in.
Yeah, so it looks like Dark Sided decided to call for a bit of a tactical pause. They want to have a chat with their coach, get things set right in their mind. Do you think this is the point we see that tertiary bomb site?
I think we have to. Or they need to make a severe adaptation to their basement hold, because at the moment, the hold for the basement for the Dark Sided squad is not working. I want to see that castle either removed, or I want to see them change up how they hold it.
Yeah, definitely. But they can't go to the kids' dorms and dorms main halls, so, you know, this is looking
they can
a
at this. No, they can't. No, they can't. You're right. You're right. Sorry.
So it's looking a bit worrying here for Dark Sided. I think, yeah, they just need to pull out something left of field and really surprise Fnatic. But then again, is Fnatic going to fall for something like that? Could
they get aggressive on the tower? Is that an option here?
I think Fnatic might be ready for it. But that being said, in the regular season, Ravens team control absolutely destroyed Fnatic as they defended the tower, so definitely possible.
A couple of ACOGs, a couple of aggressive runouts, Jaeger, Bandit, you know, a couple of ACOGs from a Doc and a Maestro, and you can 100% hold that site and take it. All you have to do is just play uber aggressive on it, and they can pick it up.
Well, I believe the tactical pause is almost over, so our answers will be answered very soon, Flea.
Yeah, but it's also interesting to know that with that tac pause, Dizzle can, of course, talk to his Fnatic squad as well, and we did see him get quite animated towards his squad, so we'll have to see whether or not what words of wisdom Dizzle can impart on his team.
Yeah, well, you know, if you were Dizzle, what would you say?
Keep doing what you're doing. You're on match point. You can take this.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Like, there's no reason for Fnatic to really panic right now. You know, they're going to be attacking a bomb site that VSDS have no history of taking no matter where they go, and it does look like they're going to go back into the basement.
Yeah, they are sticking it, aren't they? And we see the change there. Once again, a castle is completely ineffective upstairs.
Why are they six-picking castle at this point? They've taken it every single time. Fnatic are ready for it. They have the sledge. You know, Lusty can pop those castles time and time again. At this point, this castle has been so ineffective. I want to see a change out, and it doesn't look like we're going to see it at all.
And it looks like he's going to be putting them back in the exact same spots. Yeah, I don't know. It's really not working, is it?
I don't want to be so pessimistic because anything can happen, but at this point, history has been a great teacher for us so far, and I think Dark Sided are in a bit of trouble.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, especially if Dark Sided do decide to remain very aggressive upstairs. We might see what we saw in the very first round of their defense, which was just, you know, let's not worry about those guys. Let's just push downstairs.
Yeah, and honestly, I think Fnatic could potentially just rush the side if they really want, because there's little to no utility or bodies on that basement.
The old construction rush, it's always nice to see, isn't it?
Ace's repping his own team there. Got the Fnatic skin on his L85. Actually, so does Magnet. They're running both of them.
L85s, A2s, of course they're going to run them. And look, here we go. Cast barricade. See you later.
Yep. Completely negated, completely unaffected. Stops nothing, changes nothing, and Fnatic just go on about their day. And Specker's utility is completely negated here.
Yeah, he's going to be peeking aggressively towards that double window, but that being said, they've been pushing Aces in first every time. It's going to be a shield. It's going to be very hard to deal with here.
Certainly it is. Aces has been an absolute monster on this, but I really want to touch on the way Fnatic have been using Blitz as well. It hasn't been solo pushing. It hasn't been Aces bullying the rest of Dark Sided. It's been Aces pushing Dark Sided into a spot that his team can pick up the kills.
Looks like Dark Sided have changed it up. However, as they are falling back to the bomb site, they don't want to hang around. And Fnatic missed an opportunity to completely catch that rotate off from the front door.
Yep, I think that is a brilliant choice out of the Dark Sided players here. You know, Fletch, the captain, really leading the team, adapting and overcoming, finally pushing their way in, not getting caught out as they have in the past.
That being said now, it's still got plenty of time on the clock for Fnatic to get ready for their push and their plant. It's, you know, it's not going to be a, you know, cut and dry round so far.
Yeah, and the other thing to note is so much utility used on the top floor, negated in the first half of the map. There's a lot of utility now not downstairs.
Yep, time is ticking away as well. Fnatic, they might lose that time advantage that they managed to work up so earlier on.
And we'll have to see what they can. Still a 5-on-5 though. This is the closest we've seen a defensive round so far, coming to the last minute for Dark Sided.
Well, still 5-on-5. Not a lick of damage done either way, is it?
Yeah, been very, very passive play so far from both teams. As the holes are just starting to get opened, we've actually seen a Claymore go down on the white stairs, on the main stairs, sorry, for the Mag.
This is going to be one of those very hectic rounds where all the action happens in the last 30 seconds. Looks like Aces is getting set up for a push from behind as well. Maybe as all. Jack Daddy, he's managed to escape detection, and he's on the flank. He's all the way in dining.
Yep, he could be huge here if he stays hidden and invisible, and no one's watching it right now. Jack Daddy could come up with the big play. I think he needs to take out Aces. That needs to be his priority target as we move into the last 20 seconds.
Oh, it is down to 20 seconds as well, and Fnatic are not even ready for this plant. We're going to see the flashbangs. Cutie's going to find the first one. Jack Daddy's ready to pounce. He's going to see one, but can't land the shots, but he is going to finally land it. 4 on 2, just like that for Dark Sided, as there's 10 seconds on the clock. Looks like Lusty's gotten one back, and Aces is going to come face to face with the Legion. He's going to finally get the melee down, and it is all up to Cutie. That's going to be a timeout. Dark Sided, stay in this one.
Dark Sided managed to pull it up. They pull out the adaptation that we wanted to see. They make it back down to site as a 5-man squad, and they manage to hold Fnatic to the clock.
How did we manage to lose track of Jack Daddy?
Because he is just a ninja of a man. And I'm actually really happy to, out of the in-game adaptations we saw out of Dark Sided. It wasn't a strategical adaptation, it was an in-game adaptation.
I also want to point to the fact that Fnatic did waste a lot of time in that round. They have decided to take a tactical pause, and maybe that's exactly what Diz was saying right now. Guys, you had a minute and a half on the clock. You just faffed about upstairs, doing nothing, and then you finally decided to go for the push, and we lost to a timeout. We are at a man advantage at that point.
Yeah, and we did see Aces go after Jack Daddy in the showers, and Aces pulled out one of the hardest things about playing shields whatsoever. When you get meleeed, your shield goes out to the left, you turn to the right, and your shield is still going to be facing that front player. He managed to keep himself alive despite the hip fire out of Jack Daddy.
Yeah, maybe difficult for you, Flea, but you just got to turn your mouse to the side. All right, you just got to turn your mouse.
Oh, yeah. That's like you just got to land 5 headshots, man. 5 bullets is all it takes to win a siege game. Yeah?
Well, we are going all the way, 10 rounds so far. Either we hit overtime or we're going to see a Fnatic win.
Yeah, it's really going to be the question of the day. Down to the final round of the main game, whether or not we can take it to overtime. That is going to be Dark Sided's their method of how they have to win here. They're hoping to go to OT. Fnatic are hoping to stop that here and take a clean map.
So the thing is, Dark Sided can now go back to that primary bomb site that I won.
They certainly can. They can go upstairs. They will be locked out of basement after, I don't want to say a strong showing, but a successful hold.
Yeah, but whether they're locked out or not doesn't matter right now, because this is the very last round of this second half here.
And they are going to go upstairs. You did call it. I think that's good. So we're not even going to see whatever Dark Sided's tertiary bomb site is. No matter how they play it, we're not going to see their tertiary bomb site.
And here we go. We're going to see an alibi come out here for Specker. We saw it last time they defended up here with some mixed success. He had a good run out, but he missed his shots.
And that is some interesting kill credit. So very, very even across the VSDS players. Lusty with 11. I didn't realize he was so far out in front.
Well, you know, this is what I said. This is what Dizzle wants from his squad. He wants Lusty fragging because he's got such a good brain and aim combination.
Yeah, that's it. And I mean, Lusty, he is the clutch king of ANZ. How many times have we seen 1v3s? Particularly on international stages, we've seen Lusty pull it out time and time again. So having him on a fragging operator is definitely a good choice.
Yeah, well, are they going to adapt this time, Fnatic? Of course, it was a pretty strong shot. Well, this last time we saw this defender, was it down to a 1v1? Or was that the Fnatic defense?
That was the Fnatic defense.
Yes, it was.
This one is by far the strongest defense that Dark Sided have pulled out, and has been their strongest showing of a round, in my opinion, as well. So we're going to have to see whether or not they can replicate any of that success, as they did just shut down Fnatic.
Looks like Fnatic completely spread out to start off with. They're just going to encroach upon the map very slowly, spreading on out, all doing their droning. What do you think about continuing pick of the Blitz?
I think Aces has been really effective on it. And as I've said, he hasn't been solo bullying players. He's been using it to force Dark-Sided players into a spot that his team can pick up the kills.
Yeah.
It has been a great team use of Blitz, which is something we're not used to saying.
Yeah, and we're seeing our first Blackbeard as well. Looks like that's what Rizraz wants to go for. Of course, this is something we spoke about, you know, a bit of a while ago when Rizraz,
Tokyo,
yeah, was a main on the Blackbeard for his previous team before this one. But you know, traditionally this squad has been Aces, but you know, it's finally fallen over to Rizraz again. Yeah,
and Aces has been moved on to a bit of a flex pick as well. Like he's been playing, you know, operators that can be played really passively well, and operators that can be played really aggressively well. Because I think Aces is one of those players who knows when to get aggressive and knows when not to. It's one of his strongest points.
I think Rizraz has made a mistake here. He went to throw a flashbang, but he's realized he's got breaching charges. As he's going to see one player through the bomb there, but doesn't land any damage down. But that might be a bit of a mess up there.
Yeah, I think, you don't really want to take breaching charges on that Blackbeard. So I think that's, just a bit of the LAN loadout, because of course everything is not set up. You do have to set it up yourself, and he's just forgotten about those flashbangs.
Yeah, unfortunate of him, but it's down to a minute on the clock. Cutie and Lusty have taken some damage each, but, it's still a 5v5.
Certainly is, and we're down to the final minute, so it'll be interesting to see what Fnatic can do. Every time we've seen a 5v5 in the final minute, it has favored Dark Sided. We'll have to see whether that trend can continue, or whether or not Fnatic are going to be able to put a pin in it. Yeah,
Rizraz just holding down the one angle. This is the position he's going to play with that Blackbeard as they get set up for the push. The Smoke Babe's not really doing too much for Ace, as he's just going to run right on through. Fletch is going to find him though. Virtue's going to find one. Cutie's going to find one. Looks like Dark Sided are standing up as it's just a 1-on-5. Rizraz to try and clutch it on out. He's found one, but Fletcher's going to trade him on back. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to overtime.
Yeah, that was ridiculous out of the Dark Sided squad. They just destroyed Fnatic as they all jumped in like lemmings through that window.
It was just a waterfall in the kill feed, wasn't it, of Fnatic players going down. 5-5. This is the exact same scoreline we saw in the Pro League between these two teams.
It was. The only difference between here and Pro League is Pro League draws are acceptable, where here we need a winner. So overtime we go to Monkey, and after that showing, that was just a slaughter fest.
Yeah, it definitely was. Some great stuff there from Dark Sided on defense with a 3-2, 3-2 in each half.
It is interesting to note, overtime is randomized to see what side you get. Dark Sided have drawn a defense. I think that favors them. I think they were stronger in their defense compared to their attack. So this will be interesting to see what we come out with.
You can say the same thing for Fnatic, however, as well, as both teams picked up 3 on defense and 2 on an attack.
Yeah, so I think in 100% the overtime randomness has favored Dark Sided here.
That being said, though, Dark Sided are going to defend top floor, as we expect. Here we go, yes. And then, we're going to assume Fnatic win their defense. But then Dark Sided have to go downstairs. They've only won that 1 out of 3.
Yes, so it'll be, but that being said, they won the most recent one. So they're learning and they're adapting. So whether or not Fnatic can adapt to how Dark Sided have changed their gameplay will be interesting to see on that defense.
Yep, looks like we're going to see Cutie putting some utility downstairs. Bit of a barbed wire there.
10 seconds to go.
And yeah, this long shield here, this has become a staple of this defense. And you just sit with the Alder, and you can see that pixel peak down there is just insane. Using that ACOG with a 0 recoil LMG, you can just deny everything down that hallway.
99 times out of 100, you're going to win a firefight there.
I reckon it's more like 999 out of 1,000. But, Fnatic, if there's ever one to get a nutty 1 in a million shot, it'll be the Fnatic squad.
Yeah, potentially could happen. I have seen it happen before. Pixel Angle is getting destroyed. You just got to land one bullet there.
And Fnatic being very quick to take control of this master bedroom. They're going to be moving their way in. Magnet taking out his cam and just going to peace out before he drones again. So, Fnatic taking control of, the east side of this building. They're going to be taking control of Armory. They're going to be taking control of Master Bedroom. So it does look like we're going to be seeing a Master Bedroom plan. And I think this is a good adaptation out of the Fnatic squad strategy. They got demolished on the west side push. So the east side push seems to be the smart idea.
Yeah, we'd have to agree with you here. Looks like Rizraz is going to be holding down another classic angle here, all the way from Armory. Of course, he's going to be the one that's going to have to challenge that pixel peak angle, but he's got the utility for it, doesn't he?
He certainly does have the utility for it. And, the Blackbeard shield, it's made of paper, but the important thing is it stops a headshot, right? One kill headshots in this game. That Blackbeard shield provides little utility. It only has 60 HP, so generally 2 shots can kill it, but it can stop a headshot, and that's the most important thing about that operator.
Yeah, it looks like Fnatic here, they were trying to hunt Cutie. He was at the very top of the tower, but he has since gone all the way downstairs. He's just leading them on a bit of a merry chase, isn't he? Yeah,
and that's all he needs to do. Waste time as a roamer, that is a successful roam. You don't need to pick up kills as a roamer. You just need to run that clock down, because that clock is the 6th player of the defender.
Yeah, once again, it is a minute on the clock, and not a single piece of damage going either way. This has been very slow there from Fnatic, hasn't it?
Yeah, but again, every time we've seen the final minute hit in a 5v5 with no lick of damage, it has gone Dark Sided's way. So I expect it to go the exact same way again. I'm a big believer in history. And as we go, Rizraz on these windows going to see what he can come up with. Fletch takes out a drone. And 40 seconds left.
Yeah, that was very close. Looks like Rizraz is aware that someone is at the back there of the bomb site as Cutie is ready to execute this flank. He's got to find Rizraz for free if he can land his shots. Oh,
that was close.
Does.
That was close out of Cutie. A bit of potato, but he manages to get the job done. Eventually takes him out. Neophyter going to trade back onto Virtue, though. Magnet is still hunting Cutie here. This is a player who's not doing anything. Neophyter, though, will find Cutie, gets him in that flank. Magnet now going to rotate around. Lusty finds Jack Daddy, and that makes it a 4 versus 2. Spectre gets taken out. Neophyter is going strong here right now. Fletch is going to try and put a pin in him, but Magnet will take out the round for Fnatic.
Wow, that was way too close there for Fnatic. They would be shaking in their boots as they saw that timer running on down. Ooh, Magnet only just landing those shots there as well.
Yep, Neo went massive though.
Yeah, Neo, he put the Fnatic squad on his shoulders there and said, don't worry boys, I've got this round.
Yep.
It's on me.
Free win onto Neophyter. And, you know, the Fnatic squad, they do manage to pick up that defense win, that attack win, which is something that Darksided have been so strong on. We are potentially now on the final round of this map.
Well, here we go, back to Fnatic defense. It feels like, you know, quite a bit of time since we last saw them there, and we're going to see that clash coming out once again for downstairs.
Certainly we are. This clash has been one of the strongest presents for Fnatic.
They picked off it. No, they changed last second. Sorry, Neo had the clash locked in, but looks like he's going for the mute now, so no clash this time.
Yeah, no clash. This will be interesting. We'll have to see how they go. I think clash has been one of the strongest performances so far.
Yeah, definitely. You know, maybe VSDS won't be expecting this, and it will definitely lead to a Fnatic advantage in that regard. Look, Neophyter, he's put himself up alongside Lusty there, 12 and 12 each.
Yeah, it's been very, very strong for both of those players. Neo, it's been a long time since we've seen him drop a massive amount of frags like this, so it's nice to see him go off it.
Yeah, and oh, wait a minute. Look what bomb site they're at.
They're at tower.
Yeah, wow.
This is something different, and I presume this is why we don't have the clash. I can't see clash being that useful on the tower, so...
Why are they pulling out this bomb site in overtime? Don't you feel
why not?
A bit too risky?
Why not? They won it last time.
They won it last time, yeah, but at that point it was a cheese strat. Surely Darksided are ready and have adapted for this.
Going back to Coastline for a minute, they've picked several times the split bomb site on Coastline, which many teams have argued is one of the worst additions to any map that has been made. So they seem to like these sorts of bomb sites, so why not? If it's something you can do to win a round against your opponent, why not? And at the end of the day, if they do win it, they can successfully win an attack.
You had me so confused there. I think you mean consulate, right?
Yeah, in the consulate. Okay. That's what I meant.
I was like,
what did I say,
split
coastline?
bomb site coastline?
Yeah, did I say coastline? Sorry, I meant consulate.
So confused.
My bad. So moving forward though, you know, taking tower, this is something that Darksided obviously looked very hesitant to attack. Something they weren't quite ready to attack, so I think it's a good choice out of Fnatic's last bomb site.
Remember, this round was won with a massive 2k Rizraz run out, and that's the kind of things that don't really work twice.
Well, yes and no. You have to be aggressive on this site, right? You have to run out, you have to spawn peek, you have to do these things to put the attackers at risk. The attackers have to be on edge attacking this bomb site, or else they take complete control. So I think that those types of... No, that type of run out again, we're not going to see the exact same one, but we're going to see something similar. And you can see Magnet is already ready to potentially get a flank from the top of this tower.
Oh, nade comes nearby, but Lusty's going to find the first one. That's Virtue going down. He's going to have to sit out for this round. Lusty only took a small amount of damage. I believe that was from that toss grenade.
Yep. And that was a pretty good toss grenade to manage to land up there, though. Magnet, though, he's managed to come down from the tower. We'll have to see now. He's in a perfect run-out position. Whether or not he can jump out of any of these windows, manages to pop one. But this hold out of VSDS, it looks like they're going to commit to a meeting take here. Yeah,
and VSDS, they are very slow here. They're taking it, you know, as if they're scared. They're not quite sure as to what they want to do, which is, you know, the opposite of how they should be behaving in this situation.
Yeah, well, it just shows that they're not confident in attacking this bomb site with how slow that they've gone. Because they're not really clearing out anything, as Fletcher's going to find Rizraz through a window, I presume. No, downstairs in the basement, sitting in the electrical room. Fletcher's going to take that pulse out, and that denies any cheeky C4 play from below.
Yeah, looks like they're aware of the position of Neofighter behind on the meeting hall stage. Sorry, as Jack Daddy's going to find another one onto Aces there. Jack Daddy's on side. He's going to find Lusty as well.
He's got the mirror.
He's got the mirror, but can't land the shots. He's gone for the pistol.
Jack
and
Daddy!
there we go.
Jack Daddy comes up huge with a 3K there.
Well, we saw Neo do it on Zofia. It's Jack Daddy's turn. Says, whatever you could do, I can do just as well. And there we go. I told you, Tower. It's not going to work twice there for Fnatic, as we are going all the way here. Overtime, match point.
Overtime, match point, the full 13 rounds, guys. All right, I want to hear from the crowd again. Who do you want to win? Do you want Fnatic to win? All right, and for those of you who want the underdogs, VSDS, do you want them to win? VSDS have some supporters in the crowd. They're definitely more vocal about it, but we'll have to see how this last round's going to play out.
Definitely very split down the middle, of course. You know, if you're supporting your team, you sit on that side, it seems.
Yeah, Fnatic supporters over on the left, VSDS supporters over on the right here. So we're going to have to see how it goes. And, you know, Dokkaebi coming out of this attack again, these calls have been relatively effective.
All right, but now, this is where it hangs in the balance, right? Kid Storm's main hall.
Glaz, first time we're going to see him.
Glaz, we haven't seen him too much. Is this a change up for Rizraz?
This is the first time we've seen a Glaz all game.
So Neo, who did so successfully on the Zofia on this bomb site last time, has switched over to the Glaz. Pretty much the same role that Rizraz was playing, but Rizraz has picked up the Zofia. Yeah, we've got Magna on the Twitch as well. That's another interesting pick.
Yeah, Twitch we haven't seen at all yet so far, so we're going to have to see what they can do. The Twitch is going to be, what, looking for ADSs and the prisoners? You're not going to be doing much else with it?
I don't know. Do they maybe expect a mirror to come out last second here?
Well, VSDS have shied away from mirror the entire match. Why would they expect it to come out?
I don't know. It is final round. It is where you change things up, as Fnatic have pretty much done that to their whole roster. And Dark Sided pretty much staying the same. And, you know, this is how they've been so far. Very tactical, very drilled. Like, they only stick to what they know rather than try and play by the seat of their pants. Yeah,
so Neo on this Glaz, to me, this says a double window, or just even Neo just holding that double window and holding the hallway down it. And he's moving up. He just needs to make sure that his mini tower at his back is going to be clear out.
So another thing I forgot to mention as well is the Fnatic have abandoned the Blitz as well.
Yes, Ace is picking up that Hibana. They've dropped the Thermite as well. So whether or not they're going to go for a master bedroom push here is yet to be seen. Of course, you can use a Hibana for it, but it is easier with the Thermite. And it'll be very interesting to see exactly how Fnatic plan on pushing this, because so far it looks like they're just going to go for the old stock standard B push. They're going to take control of tower, take control of meeting, take control of attic, and then push in through the windows.
Magna is trying to hunt Cutie, and he's doing it a bit slowly. He saw his drone get taken out there. One quick bullet from Cutie, but it really looks like Fnatic aren't working as a team to try and hunt these roamers, and Magna's, doing the job of 2 or 3 men.
Yeah, and that's something that we have pointed out as Fnatic's biggest strength is their teamwork, their flanks, their communication. It's something that they come in and they can consistently pick up angles from people that they're not expecting. So Fnatic playing rather solo is a very interesting point.
Yeah, and look, they are wasting quite a bit of time. Minute 30, and really not much has happened. Fnatic have taken ground that's been completely given to them. No, pressure back from Dark Sided at all.
No, not at all yet. And, well, Dark Sided, they've got to be very happy, I think, with the way this round is playing out. They've only lost 1 5v5 in the sub-minute, and the rest of them have gone their way, and we've seen a fair chunk of them. So I think Dark Sided are going to be very happy just sitting here running the clock down. That's a very, very good strategy for Dark Sided.
Yeah, and we are about to hit that point, 5 seconds from the minute mark. It's Fnatic slowly doing not much. We're finding it hard for things to talk about. It's because nothing's really happening.
Well, that's a good point to say. They're slowly doing nothing. They're not achieving anything. They're not taking meaningful ground. They're not getting rid of utility. They're not setting up a plant here. We're in 45 seconds left, and Fnatic have only just now moved into a spot where they can threaten a plant.
It looks like it's going to be coming out now as the smoke grenade's going to come out from Neofighter. He's going to put down 2. He can see through them. He did see a flash of Banana, but Fletcher's going to find the first kill. Magna's gone down. Rizraz has pushed up, but Fletcher's going to go down. Rizraz going to finish him off. Neophyter's going to go down as well to Jack Daddy. No more pressure through the smoke as Jack gets another one. Ace is straight back onto duty, however, leaving us in a 3-on-2 with 15 seconds.
Yeah, here comes the clock, though. 15 seconds left. They could deny it. There's gas babes are coming out of Virtue. Aces does get down. He gets taken out. Virtue gets the kill credit for that. Oh, up to Lusty, but Jack Daddy will clutch it and take out Map1 for Dark Sided.
Wow, what a round there. Fnatic. Looks like they made just too many mistakes, wasn't it?
Yeah, just too slow, too passive, too unaware, maybe? Like, not that clock has been their worst enemy this entire map.
What a match to start things off here at the Six Masters 2018. We all said Fnatic was going to win this series, and I even looked at a Twitter poll in the meanwhile there from Rainbow6 ANZ. I think 76% of the people that voted on that did think it was going to go the way of Fnatic, but so far, Dark Sided have shown up. Overtime, 7-6. Really couldn't have hoped for much more in our first map.
No, you really couldn't have. What a map to open up the Six Masters on. And Dark Sided puts a bit of pressure on the Fnatic squad.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk a little bit about what was going on there for Fnatic, because you guys, time and time again, were mentioning that Fnatic were playing too slowly on that attack. Things were not going well for them as a result. What was going on there?
I really think the point that they shot themselves in the foot in that overtime was when they decided to try and defend tower instead. It's not really, you know, a bomb site that's traditionally defensible, and it did work the first time they tried it, but as I said, it was off the back of a Rizraz 2K run out, and you know, they weren't able to replicate that kind of thing consistently, and in the end it was, you know, Jack Daddy just running in and going ham. Yeah,
exactly. Jack Daddy was the one that I wanted to mention as well, because again and again he seemed to have an ability to find multi-frags, and that was a big proponent for the success of Dark Sided.
Absolutely, it was. Jack Daddy played phenomenally. He is one of the veterans of the VSDS team, so him standing up, stepping up on this main stage, showing his team that, hey, we can win this, we can do this, is something that Jack Daddy played very well, and it's going to be a boon moving into border.
So what kind of a situation are we looking at right now for Dark Sided? Are they sort of all stepping up? Is this essentially Dark Sided playing at their peak? Is this the best Dark Sided that we're going to see?
I think so, yes. I think Dark Sided have played phenomenally this map, and I think this is what they are capable of.
Yeah, I also want to say that it is a bit of Fnatic not playing to their full potential either. So it's kind of like the best, you know, well, pretty much the best of both worlds here of, you know, Fnatic not playing to their full potential and Dark Sided playing out of their minds, especially Jack Daddy, as we see the highlights here.
Well, 1-0 up for Dark Sided right now. It doesn't matter if it's 7-6 or 6-0. It doesn't make a difference. They've still got that map on the board now, so they just need to get one more. Is that a very realistic possibility, or was this Dark Sided, you know, like I said, playing at their peak, 7-6 there? Fnatic are going to go back, have a bit of a chat, say, what went wrong there, guys? And Fnatic's going to come back here and just absolutely decimate the next two maps?
Well, I think border is definitely going to be a much stronger showing for Fnatic. They're much more comfortable on border than they are on Oregon, so I think that